Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. Today's date is Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. So this will have covered the week, well actually a week plus 1 day, of November 22nd through November 29th of 2021. So this was obviously over the week of Thanksgiving, so I had other things to prioritize. I went home, got to be with my family, so that was all a lot of fun. Got to eat a lot of good food, which is also a lot of fun. But I did earn a fair number of trophies in a total of 4 games. Well, not as many trophies with this one as it was just progress, but first and foremost, I am going to go down a little bit to Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition. It has received its next expansion pack. I was kind of wondering when this was going to happen. So let's see, expansion 14. This was back in June. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that this one took this long to release with trophies. I don't think it's going to be particularly hard because there's a guy on PSN Profiles that has like a really great trophy realm that you can play in. So I'm not too worried about this. I'm sure that that'll make most of this easy. But, of course, that's going to just add a little bit of extra time and a few extra trophies. But hopefully there's not going to be too many more updates for the PS4 version. I don't know. We might get more, but I feel like they've slowed down a lot over the last couple years. So hopefully we don't get too many more. If we do, they won't be too difficult and they can be done in like a world or whatever. So, as for actual trophy progress this week, I obtained trophies in 4 different games. First off was Aliens Colonial Marines. Now, I don't think I earned too many actual trophies, but I made significant progress on the challenges. I only have about 15 challenges left. So, let's see. I think that this is one that we did. So, complete this mission without setting off the alarm. We got that one done. Then we have, let's see, did all of those already. What else did I get in here? Was that my only trophy? Okay, I did this one for completing an entire category of challenges. Because like I said, I only have about 15 more challenges to go. 2 of them are for completing a mission on Hard End or Higher and completing a mission on Ultimate Badass. So I will get both of those hopefully tonight, the day this is being recorded. If not later this week, it'll be done for sure. And were there any other trophies earned? Oh, I need to do that at some point. That's actually pretty easy, though. And got this trophy for spending 30 commendations. Kind of surprised it took me so long to get that one. Collectibles are going well. I've made good progress on it, but I'm not quite done with them yet. And then, let's see. Did the smart gun already and the motion tracker already. Looks like... Oh, here's another one. Kill a crusher without letting it damage you. I don't remember exactly... Well, actually, we probably boosted that one in the multiplayer now that I think about it. So, yeah, so made a little bit of progress there, but it was mainly working on the challenges just because there's so many of them. And I've currently on my next challenge is one of those ones where you have to play in multiplayer. It's the one for getting a kill while incapacitated. I think it's the last thing that I 100% have to do in co-op or in multiplayer, which is great in case there was a server problem or something. So with Stasis Interrupted, of course, I haven't done this one yet, but you have to complete it on Ultimate Badass. You have to find all of the audio logs. I think that a couple of these are just miscellaneous trophies and a couple of them are story-related, but I'm not 100% sure. I know that this one's miscellaneous and this is one of the more annoying ones because there's quite a few. So not too worried about that. We can probably run through the Ultimate Badass version of that within like a day or a night, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Next up, Far Cry 6 is up to 100%. So, of course, the Platinum Trophy I got a while ago now. It's been not quite a month, a few weeks. But let's see. I think that, yes, this is where it starts at. So I finished all 3 of these special operations on Mastery Level 3. I had finished this one already. Masio is kind of annoying at the end just because there's a lot of enemies. Even you can go hide out on top of the buildings, but they might shoot rockets at you. You can run out of water, and when you get down to tanks as some of your enemies, you can't just stop them by hitting them with the EMP grenade launcher. You have to use something that can actually blow up the tanks, or else it won't get the guy to come out of them. And if you obviously go down there and try to destroy it, it will get you killed, because your battery will probably explode. Usually, not always. Cocodrillo, this one wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because the path back is fairly easy to get through and linear. But otherwise, the defensive portion's a little bit annoying, but I found a good place to hide out at. And of course, once you're playing on story mode, it makes this significantly easier, I will say that. Oh, didn't mean to click on that again. Party Crasher. These two are a lot easier. Los Tres Santos is probably the easiest one. This one I didn't really have any real issues with. Puerta del Eden, this one's not terrible, but, well, I will say the final battle on Mastery Level 3 is actually pretty tough. It's definitely one of the more, again, I've used the word before, but pretty unbalanced, because there's just an insane number of enemies that all have flamethrowers and rocket launchers that cause your battery to explode much faster, and it's really only on Mastery Level 3. Like, everything through Mastery Level 2 was pretty easy, but just Mastery Level 3 was a lot more of a problem. So, yeah, maybe it was just me, but I had more issues with that, even though I don't think I lost a single life on either of these operations on any of my runs. So, they weren't too bad. Now, there's still one more operation to come. I don't know when it releases, probably in December. So, I assume that it will get a trophy, whether it gets added into a previous DLC, like Killing Floor 2 does, or if it gets its own new DLC, or if it gets added into the next Season Pass content. I don't know yet. Plus, there's those 3, like, crossover missions that still haven't released. And then, I finished off the Voss Insanity DLC, so there's a lot of good and definitely some bad to this DLC. The good is, well, you're playing as Voss. Voss is a character again. Citra is a character again as well, so the actual storyline of it and the characters and setting, I liked a lot. I was definitely pleasantly surprised with all of that. The main issue I had was the sort of Returnal style gameplay, because it doesn't make any sense for Far Cry. I really just don't understand it. Because basically what happens is, if you die, you carry over all of your upgrades. So, like, all of your weapons upgrades that you can get, they all carry over, but you lose. And also, all of your symbols on the map stay, I believe, as well. And your permanent, like, upgrades that are for your character, like being able to hold more syringes and stuff for your health, those also carry over, but your weapons and your money and some of that stuff doesn't. And it's just really kind of annoying because it adds in an unnecessary level of stress. I'm not a big fan of permadeath type stuff, even if it's not really difficult. So, that being said, the DLC trophies are not particularly difficult as long as you have some idea of where to go for stuff and get a little bit of practice in. I don't think I died once on any of my Mind Level 5 playing, but I died a couple times on my original run. I know that one of them was just me, like, falling off a cliff because I didn't realize I didn't have my parachute. And then the other time was something that was completely BS, because apparently the mine, like, collapses in on you at the end, and I had done the one where you go onto the ship last, so I couldn't figure out how to get out and just died, like, instantly, which is really dumb. So, you get this trophy for escaping once, which is going to be very simple, especially since you can do it on the easiest difficulty. You have to beat it once on the easiest difficulty to unlock all the other difficulties anyway. For this one, you're going to get this one automatically when you finish a run on Mastery Level 5, so don't worry about that one at all, or Mind Level 5. This one is best done on Mind Level 5 because you get way more cash on that level, so I highly recommend doing it there. Then you've got your collectible trophies. You have to discover every location, of which there's about 20. You have to unlock all of the weapons, which is done by completing weapons trials that are basically just killing a set number of enemies. And there's 9 weapons. One of them is an automatic story related. It's the pistol you get at the beginning, but the other ones you have to find. There are 7 diary pages. These are pretty easy. There are 10 chibis, which are pretty well hidden. I'm not sure how some of these guys found them. And then you have to find all of the visions, of which there are 18. These are actually fairly easy to miss, because if you walk away from them, they won't count. So you have to sit there and watch the whole thing. So that one made it take a little bit longer, but it's still not too difficult as long as you have a guide for them. There are a couple of optional objectives you can do on the map as well. There are trials, which just basically serve to give you a lot of money and one of those one-up power-ups. You can do those. There's 3 of those. They're basically just surviving waves of enemies. And then there's another bonus objective. Well, not really bonus, but just another kind of thing you can do. They're just mind F words. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to get demonetized. But you know what that word is, and it's basically just little, like, trippy sections where you're playing as Voss, no real combat, just some exploration and such. So, again, I liked a majority of this DLC, I just didn't like the whole idea of a Returnal-type style of gameplay, because I just don't really think it makes sense for Far Cry. But the rest of it was good, and the secret ending that you get for escaping on Mine Level 5, that was pretty unexpected and kind of cool, actually. So I won't spoil anything, but I will say it's worth watching. Or at least, looking it up on YouTube if you don't want to play through it. So escaping at Mine Level 5 isn't really that hard, as long as you've got some upgrades. You definitely want to have your starting pistol fully upgraded, and at least one other weapon you like, such as the assault rifle that's fully upgraded. So I definitely recommend doing that, and I definitely recommend having a couple of 1-ups in your power-up inventory section. I definitely recommend having at least one in case you make a mistake somewhere, preferably 2 or even 3 if you really wanted to. Otherwise, the only power-up that you really need is the one that allows you to slide and then run faster, sort of like having the parkour outfit. I definitely recommend that because it's kind of slow to move around the world. And you might also want to have one that gives you more pistol damage or more secondary weapons damage. It's not terribly difficult. The final battle can be a little bit tricky just because the enemies are all basically special forces level, so they're a lot harder to kill. But if you're playing on story mode, you don't take that much damage, and the enemies can't take too much either until you get to that Mine Level 5. So it's not too bad, it's just, again, there were certain things about the gameplay that I think could have been better, but the rest of this DLC was pretty enjoyable, would definitely recommend. As for this trophy, the best way to do it is to farm for cash in the Mine Level 5. You have to upgrade each weapons case, I think it's 4 times to get it fully upgraded, which is going to cost, over, I think it's like 12,000 or so cash per weapon. Well, that's not actually true because some of them are more expensive than others. So it is going to take a while, but you can farm it on Mine Level 5 by just completing the trials over and over and selling the power-ups that you get. So I would recommend doing that and then just, go dump your money into the upgrades or into the weapons upgrades, and then you can just save and quit from a safe house and you're good to go and just restart it with all of your upgrades and stuff again. So it's not really that difficult of a set of DLCs. I would put, from all these DLCs, I'd put Salt of the Earth, I'd say this one's probably a 4 out of 10, especially if you're doing it solo, it might be easier co-op. Party Crasher is probably a 3 out of 10. These two operations, like I said, are really not that bad. Voss Insanity, I'd put it at like a 3, probably around a 3 out of 10, maybe a 3.5 out of 10. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but also if you really want to make it easier and you just want to farm money to buy the passive upgrades, that would probably make your hardest difficulty a lot easier if you wanted to add extra time into it. And as for time, I would say that Salt of the Earth, this one's going to take, 4 to 5 hours, depending on how many runs you have to do of each mission. This one's going to take maybe 3 hours, because these are fairly short operations. Voss is going to take like 5 to 6 hours, maybe a little bit longer. I'd say anywhere from like 5 to 8 hours, depending on your skill and such, and if you fail at all at it. So I do definitely expect more DLCs to come from that game. I just don't know exactly what date they're going to release on, but I think we're getting DLC for this game through March of 2022. So I'll be coming back to this one quite often for the next several months. Next up, I worked on 2 easy platinum games, and I'm actually not going to talk very much about these in this video. I'm just going to briefly sort of mention them because I started them up just so that I could make some good trophy progress, but I didn't really have the chance to record while I was home. I probably could have because I did bring my equipment, but I just didn't feel like setting everything up. So because of that, I just didn't quite finish the platinum trophies, but I'm going to be doing that probably right after I finish this video here. So for Gaps by Paugy, this is one of the easier, faster Paugy games. You just have to solve the first 50 puzzles and then find specific words and then a few other miscellaneous trophies. But like I said, I'll go more in depth into this when we actually get the platinum trophy. All I have left to do is solve the last puzzle, which will be very, very easy. I can't remember what stacks this one has. This one might only be region and PS4, PS5. I don't think this is a Vita one. And Jigsaw Finale, I don't think has any console stacks at all. I think it's just a North American and a European. But basically, you solve 20 puzzles and you get your platinum trophy for this one. So let's go ahead and sync up trophies because I'm so glad that that whole problem has been fixed. So, level 747, 58%, 21,621 total trophies, 550 platinums, 3,337 golds, 5,805 silvers, 11,929 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. I really want to actually stream Battlefield 5 Platinum live on Friday. That's my current plan. Hopefully that works out. I mean, I just need to grab a couple more easy platinums this week, which obviously isn't going to be a problem. I can easily knock out a few platinums this week as needed. So I definitely would like to do that for stream on Friday. I think that would be a lot of fun. Well, tormenting for me because that hardened difficulty or whatever it's called is actually kind of annoying in that game. But it's not terrible for a difficulty, and it'll be a solid platinum to actually get on stream. I believe a My Name is Mayo 3 has been announced as well. But other goals for the week, if the Minecraft DLC is doable in that particular trophy world, in the not additions mode, whatever it's called, the realms I think they're called, if it's doable there, then I will certainly be going in and grabbing that 100% as soon as that's ready. I'm going to continue working on Aliens Colonial Marines and hopefully getting pretty close to being done with everything. I should be able to knock out the rest of the challenges this week and any other multiplayer stuff, and hopefully get started on the DLC as well. Then, of course, Battlefield 5, as I mentioned previously. And then, of course, in December, which it's going to be December not long after this video goes up. But I've still got the Division 1 and 2 on schedule, as well as GTA 5 and Battlefield 1943. January, Black Ops 3, and then in the future after that, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City and Dead Island Riptide and all those other games that I've constantly mentioned. However, I actually am going to probably knock out Borderlands 3's DLC sooner rather than later because I just went ahead and bit the bullet and paid, $20 for the DLC, which is still completely overpriced. But I have it there, so I will be doing that probably sooner rather than later. Also, same thing with Goosebumps Dead of Night. I just got a copy of the game on Gamefly again. So I will probably be working on that in the near future as well. I am not looking forward to that mode because it's completely pointless and apparently unreasonably difficult at times, especially like the final boss fight. So yeah, not looking forward to that one, but gotta do it because for some reason they decided it was necessary to put in DLC trophy. I still don't understand that one. It's probably the weirdest choice for a DLC for a game that I've seen in recent memory. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell if you haven't already. Like I said, on my community post, this week should be more back to normal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream on Saturday or not. We'll have to see. But I will definitely be trying to stream on Friday night and definitely uploading some videos throughout the week. There's one more episode of Siren Blood Curse, Forbidden Siren to upload. There's still Siren Blood Curse, but I think I'm just going to edit all of those clips from like 3 years ago into a single long video. I think that would make a little bit more sense for that one just because it's an hour of us just bumbling around like idiots in the newest Siren game. I say newest, but it's also like 13 years old. So yeah, that's going to be about it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and see you later this week for some more content.